Welcome back to 4 Geeks by Geeks, the place where geeks come to geek out. As always, I'm Bozer.
I'm T.
And this is a Monday Night Geek Out Stash. This is like 2 in a row. No, we missed last week.
Hey, quick side. We don't have chat up anywhere unless you're trying to also read off.
No, I got it here.
Okay, as long
it's
as
interesting as a side chat on a live stream.
As long as I'm just saying, we could pull it up to the TV.
I know, but I don't know how to do that.
Oh, okay. Well,
there's buttons to push.
If you get ignored, it's because we find a solution to our problems. You're like, you know what? Things are going too easy. Things are going too smooth. I want to make this harder. So now we're back on OBS, and we all know what that was like for us back in Kingdom Come days. And that's what just I will hold on to for all of existence.
I prefer the term leveling up, and you can't gain XP by coasting. You got to make it harder when you get good at something.
Is it leveling up if you go back to old habits? I think it's called relapsing, but
no, it's called you went to the boss too soon. You got to go back, level up, and now we're ready for the boss fight. We're going on to the next tier of the dungeon. That's what this is.
OBS do be a boss fight, let's be honest.
It do be like that sometimes. Well, hi guys. If this is your first Geek Out Sesh, we do this each and every Mondays, except for the ones that we don't, where we invite geek guests from all over the world in the country, whether they're cosplayers, authors, content creators, or like tonight, those who play TTRPGs, and sometimes nerds, they're enemies. Because we just got back from our first con that we hosted / MC'd.
Yeah, specifically, and I'm gonna speak for Morgan here. We MC'd, not hosted. He didn't make a comment directly at that terminology, but he said last year the guy that they had MC kept referring to themselves as the host, and there almost felt a level of animosity.
Oh, so because like they are the hosts.
Right. But however, on the same side, if you host a TV show, that's not your TV show.
Exactly. That's what my brain said.
So I understand your brain, but I think I also understand Morgan's brain. Morgan didn't say anything.
Okay, good. Do we shoot our shot for next year?
No. We have a blood contract. That's ours. Nobody can take that from us, and these hands are in fact rated E for everyone.
But if you did catch it on our socials all weekend, we were in Carlsbad, California at Mysticon 2025, put on by Heroes of Evermore and the Forever DM, and they were kind enough and gracious enough to...
And deranged enough.
To put all of their faith in us. And I'm pretty proud of how we did, actually.
I'm proud of one person.
Our content manager?
Yeah, so if you caught up with both our Twitter, our Instagram, and Mysticon... Instagram
content manager from now on.
So content manager.
Yeah.
As you're like, man, these guys are really cranking out content. We did not. We bumblefucked our way to success like we always do. And then we had somebody much more apt to this lifestyle, like, hey, stop doing this, please do more of this, and edited everything for us on the fly. And then she promptly quit the moment we got back on there.
I think to quit, you have to be like hired. She meant to come as a tag-along and then just did what she does best. And she saved our butts and made us look really, really great. So we're really grateful for all the work that our content manager did for us. And
hey, we spoke Morgan into existence. What's up, buddy? We were just talking about how fucking deranged you guys are for letting our chuckle fucks run the show.
How do you feel? What were some highlights you took away from the con, T?
I'm going to be honest. I'm still stuck on the fact that we were allowed on stage repeatedly is where I am currently at. Every time we stepped on stage, I'd look around to see who was going to stop us.
I had that same thought. I'm like, wait, I'm just allowed to walk up here?
Yeah, because I just kept moving around everywhere that I was supposed to be, not supposed to be. And I just kept getting thanked for it. And I'm like... So there's always that talk like just carry a clipboard and like act like you're supposed to be there. Right. Nobody will question you. And this weekend was a good example of just move with confidence. You can be wherever you want, and that's all I did this weekend.
We walked fast and we had a lanyard. And
I should have brought my medal.
Oh yeah, we got medals.
Damn it, I should have brought that.
We did a hero's path, and I just filmed T, but I got a medal for it, so that was pretty cool. And one of my favorite things we got were these freaking awesome mugs printed by Fishbowl.
Mine's propping my phone up.
So yeah, mine. I don't know if you can see. It's got the.
Do you have the signed one?
Mysticon. No, this one's not signed. I thought they all got signed.
Only 2 of the 3.
Oh,
I'm trying not to spill water. So there is a signature from Luke Gygax on the bottom here. I can't tip further because I don't want to spill water all over the place. Fun fact: Bozer and I got on the plane on Sunday, and he's like, you know what, things are going too smooth, and just decided to spill his drink all over us.
I did. I left that con with confidence. And, you know, the flight attendant always comes like, water, Coke, whatever I can get you. So I had my Coke in a can, and she gave me a cup of ice. Always a mistake. And in that moment, the can fell. Like, it was closed. It fell all over. I said, this is an omen. Things are going to go wrong. So then it was my book that tipped it. So I was really careful in my book. Just ignoring my giant sleeve that caught the cup after I poured Coke in it. And I sat in Coke for the next 3.5 hours.
But very important message here that we can't highlight, which is we're flirting problems we have now. But here's pointing out, reminder that Fishbowl Studio is responsible for the print for these mugs, and they still are currently on sale for $45. And I will shamelessly plug that woman for everything. I spent so much time at her booth in the vendor alley because one, incredibly passionate about what she was doing. She gave the time, like, let me know what like her 5-year plan was, like how she could do that for a living, which I just absolutely love that she was one, that confident in herself. And then two, she's like, no, like, I'm speaking this into existence. This is how I'm going to make it happen. And then just her prints across the board were just incredibly well done.
The detail on this, I feel like I'm in like Overwatch or something. It's really nice. But she's going to probably be a future guest. We've been already reaching out to several people we met at the con. And they're going to be future guests, including tonight's guests. We've
Plural.
the pleasure of working with Dorium, who's also better known as the bartender, in past with the West Coast Adventuring Guild, because he has a little bit to do with that. And so I thought I was going to interview him that night. Turns out he was just passionate about that and connecting us. So now it's finally his turn, and I was really glad to be able to hang out with him and meet him and get to know him a little bit better. And I'm excited for even more of it tonight.
Talk about a true homie. He, along as Arclight, and I'm forgetting one other person's name.
Met so many people.
But no, specifically were immediate like talking conversations. And it's very weird because I refuse. I think Dorian's going to be the only one in this conversation. I refuse to learn anybody's government name. Do not give me your government name. I want to know your internet handle and nothing else. If you try to give me your government name, I will immediately lose it from my life. I like believing that everybody is an NPC to some regard. And the moment you give me your real name, I have to admit that you are a real person. And then I have to keep track of everything that you do to make sure you're living the best life you possibly can. And I have too many humans to take care of already. So please, no government names. But no, my wife pointed out several times, she's like, hey, I haven't seen you this happy in a while. I'm like, hey, I need you to stop saying that. Because one, I can't afford to only look happy at cons. And two, my newest child is not even 5 months old. So for her to say that's the happiest she's seen me in a long time, makes me look not the best in several lights.
Dad of the year. You're like, oh shit, another one.
Yeah, I got like 3 different texts. She's like, you look so happy. I'm like, stop. You're making me feel more guilt than I already had coming into this.
But I'm really excited to kick off tonight's Geek Out Sesh with a slew of guests. So we're going to bring them in. Please give all the love, all the chat emojis, and make sure you go follow them by using command BardWired. Let's welcome in Dorium, Adam, Deirdre, and Kier from the BardWired Podcast. Hi, guys. Thanks for coming on.
Hello. Good morning. Hello. Thanks for having me.
Okay, just for the chat, so they know, we're looking at Dorium here to our right. Upper left is Adam.
That's a very weird order you've elected to go in here.
Deirdre. And over in the corner is Kier.
So
he said, let's not go in a circle. Let's popcorn this introduction for everybody.
How you guys feeling tonight?
it's doing good. Excited to be here.
Good. Yeah. Night. It's not our game night, so we're hanging out with you guys instead. So,
Wait, we're the reason that you can't have an ongoing schedule of your campaign?
Jesus, do you know how much more stressful that just became? Now we have to be more fun than D&D is.
But Dorium, you are there with us at Mysticon. How do you feel 2 days after? Do you have the post-con depression like we do?
You can't say post-con
no,
depression.
I don't believe
You
in depression.
post-con
Body works for
blues.
me. But
All right, pause. Hold on. You have control of your flesh mech? No, that's not how this works.
You have to make the flesh bag believe that it is just an object. And then you just add objects. You just keep moving from there.
T self-esteem doesn't.
That was great.
He's much more mentally healthy than I am. That's actually a very positive way to think about controlling your flesh mech. I give serious props to it.
Sorry, you were saying.
As I was gonna say, as the rest of the cast here can tell you, I have a very interesting way of looking at how to manipulate bodies.
Are you guys all here against your will?
I was gonna say that's the worst soundbite to take from him. Right
I'm legally contractually obligated not to.
So,
No.
Blink twice.
We have seen a whole lot of evidence to suggest that Dorium is not in fact human, but is a high fae, like Queen Mab Titania level high fae, masquerading around just to mess with us.
He does have serious
I'm not
fae
comfortable answering a direct question like that. I'm only saying we've yet to see proof to the contrary.
And we're going to find that
I'm
proof
good to know.
tonight. Let me see your bones. So did you had a good time? It was great to meet you there and actually get to hang out with you in person, which is something we so rarely get to do with guests on the show.
Yeah, I had a really good time overall. I got to some workshops, got to jump on a couple of panels. I was on the improv panel and then got thrown onto a last minute panel, so that kind of worked out. I ran a bunch of games. I got to meet Luke Gygax, who also signed the bottom of my mug.
That we were special.
I got to be the bartender, like in real life, which was cool. I got to go around and give people champagne and make mimosas in the morning, and that was really cool.
And all the VIPs really appreciated that. You did skip us.
I was just about to say, I was not given a mimosa.
Did you consider looking for me to find one?
Yes, every time I looked at you, you were empty-handed. I'm like, oh, he'll be back. And I came back empty-handed again.
You could have just asked. I did have access to the kitchen.
Sorry, we were the MCs. We should have just been given everything.
You're right.
Roll.
So masters of ceremony.
Dorian just roll dice.
Even roll the dice. If you are outside of my passive perception, you're not getting it.
Felt.
So what was the rest of your story? How come you weren't there? Why do you suck?
Yeah, why do you hate us?
Well, I just was running D&D games at Comic-Con in New York, and I am very much not a people person. So if you wanted me to behave on this forum, you had to give me some space. It was appropriate.
I already want to co-DM a game with Adam because I feel like we would butt heads so aggressively in the best way. And there's nothing that I want more right now.
Oh, I had a lot of fun messing with my fellow DM. He was a riot.
And where were you, Deirdre?
I was at home with my little guy. I am also a parent.
Don't play the kid card. That's cheating.
Yeah, you just abandon them with somebody else. It's fine.
Give him the iPad.
We were watching the latest Sesame Street episode. Real intense stuff.
Wait, it still makes sense. Sesame Street's still being made?
It is. It's actually a banger now.
I genuinely did not know that. That's incredible. I thought they were just watching Bluey now.
It's coming, but yeah. And Kier, we missed you there too, but we look forward to someday meeting you at a future con.
Oh, for sure. I work a lot. I work a couple of jobs, and I really want to travel. So if I go out to California eventually, I'll be sure to stop by.
Don't worry, we're not in California, so come to C2 next year, and we'll meet each other then.
Okay. I will not look for you in California at this point, since I now know you're not there.
But we will be at Mysticon.
Yeah. I get 2 days in California a year. That's all I'm allowing myself. Okay, so very serious question. How many cons do you guys attend a year?
2. I do PAX East and usually New York Comic Con, but since having my son, I haven't been able to go. I did go to the New York Ren Fair though this year with both Adam and Dorium, which was a lot of fun.
Does that count on your con tally?
Oh yeah, he spends
I think so. That was the question I wanted to ask, because that's why. So we were on the flight back, like, okay, so how do we get to Gary Con? How do we hit up C2? How do we hit up Gen Con? And then obviously we have to be back at Miston because that's our MC spot now. Morgan, we know you're still in here. Blood contract. I am trying to figure out, as a father of 3 who works 2 jobs, how do I still justify the amount of money I'm going to spend at these places every year? And 1's fine. 2 is like, all right, let's calm down. 3 is like, bud, do we need to have a conversation? 4, I'm trying to figure out everybody that's hitting all these cons month after month. I'm like, where are you getting this money? Like, are you going into credit card debt, or am I poorer than everybody else our age?
T, you got to factor in the resale value. I have been able to get away with playing Magic the Gathering for over a decade by showing my wife how much value the cards accrue. Like, there was one that she seriously considered getting me as a wedding present. And then, like, 2 years later, it had, like, doubled in price to, like, over $400 or something. And she's like, I should have just got you the card. Yeah.
So, fun fact, I'm not allowed to open packs in my house anymore. It's not for the reason you think. It's not because I was buying too many packs. It's because my wife is the only one that gets good pulls. I think her last 4 or 5 packs, she's pulled 3 different doubling seasons. So I refuse to open packs anymore. I give all my packs to my wife because when I open them, I get bulk. When my wife opens them, she pulls out Nissas and doubling seeds, and I'm like, what the like, why is all of your luck tunneled into a company that I refuse to keep giving money to, and I keep making stupid decisions?
So you bring your wife to cons, right? Like, does she have
Doesn't
booth? She ought to.
Oh, just
Honestly,
let her open up the packs?
You're on to something. Oh, the camera is here. You're on to something. This is fucking. I don't think the camera here and looking here. You're on to something. That, I think, my love, if you were still in here, that's your new role. We're just gonna set you up a booth, and you just open pack. They pay you. You open their packs,
And it's guaranteed to be...
and it's guaranteed to be bangers.
That's pretty good.
I think you're going to get shut down by, like, some sort of religious communities at that point. There must be some sort of witchcraft.
That's fine. I've been looking to fight a government entity, so please bring it on.
Well, before we get too far off the path, Dorium, tell us a little bit about who you guys are and what BardWired Podcast is all about.
Yeah. So, hi, we're BardWired. So we are a bunch of nerds, a bunch of geeks who play tabletop role-playing games. We all actually met through a podcast where Deirdre and I were on the same team, and eventually Adam and Kira were on the same team, and then eventually we all, spoilers, died. But we all had a blast. We all got to know each other. We played through a Monday night game of Descent into Avernus, and then as that drew to a close, I was like, hey, let's keep playing D&D. And so we did, and that was kind of our thing. So us as
What year was
brand,
this?
as an entity.
What year did all this happen? Was this also a COVID D&D group coming together?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
29.
This was
Started in 2022.
Okay, gotcha.
24. Yeah,
Safely out of COVID. Okay.
Yeah. But so we are just kind of a bunch of storytellers and a bunch of narrators, artists, and creators. Everybody here has their own talent who are just like, let's build a community that really promotes all of that. And we do. And so now we are playing an adventure called Avenant Alive, where we are kind of doing some experimental stuff. We're all learning Daggerheart for it. And we're involving our community in the world building. We're involving our community in the actual play, the live play. And we're, producing events, going to cons, getting invited to do stuff kind of nationwide right now, which is really neat. Like you were asking about cons earlier, I do, I think, 13 conventions a year.
All right,
Okay,
fuck
get out.
off.
Well, good night, guys.
The three of you can stay. Dorium, you gotta go. You're being too cocky with it.
All right, guys, I'm out. And that was just Wired Podcast.
Now it's just wired. How are you getting to go to 13 cons in a year?
So I DM at a lot of them through a couple of the organizations that I work with. West Coast, for example, I do 4, I believe, a year. Maybe 5. No, 5. I do, oh God, what do I do? Dog Con, Dice Tower West, Mystic Con, San Diego Comic Con. And next year, I'm doing, is it after October 15th? It is, okay. I'm doing Comic Con on a cruise next year out of Florida. And then I do a bunch of small things just around smaller cons in LA or out here in San Diego. I do Mystic Con obviously now. Yeah, I get it. I understand.
I just wanted to make sure that came across clearly.
I honestly wasn't sure if that was real or you were just not understanding the finger you're using to scratch your own eye.
My whole thing is I love volunteering for the cons that I work at, and I will work my way into my cons. I do like going to things for free and having fun and whatever. I just enjoy for free, like paying for my tickets. But I really like volunteering my time, and it's a big component of who I am as a creator. And as a person, I love giving my time back to my community and building up spaces in the best way that I can. But it's also what we do with BardWired. We build up a community for creators and artists and players and DMs to explore their thing. We do a bunch of things on our server where it's like, hey, here's a contest for creators to build something, and like we'll give feedback and we'll play along and we'll do events for you, or we do like little like teachy sessions for new DMs. So that's kind of what we do.
When you do these teaching sessions, are these like in your Discord or in person, or where are you guys hosting these kinds of things?
In our Discord mostly. Every now and again I get the opportunity to like do something locally. Like I just got I can't.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't say the full thing I want to say, but I just was an experience. Nope, hold on. A tabletop experience with Dorium as your DM was raffled off at a fundraiser recently. So I get to do stuff like that, and I offered like hey, I'll let you co-run it with me and we'll write the adventure together. And then I do workshops. So
I know the real title was just an experience with Dorium. That's why it was so heavily sought after.
See, that's the type of slutting myself.
We'll tell you at that experience, there was a 13-inch cutout of me that was given away, and I still haven't seen it. The winner still has it.
Were they supposed to give it back to you?
Oh no.
Did we lose him?
Causing some dramatic effect.
Oh, that's some dramatic effect, all right.
And what about the rest of you? So it's called BardWired because are you like the founder? How come it's not called Adam Wired?
Doesn't flow off the tongue.
It's too many syllables.
I think the where it came about really was like, what do bards do? They tell stories.
Yeah.
Whether it be through song or writing or art, and that is what we are trying to do. We are creating this world together, and I think that's pretty cool.
So have you guys done it?
We're hardwired.
Have you guys done an Oops All Bard game yet?
We had a fight night, didn't we?
Yeah, we did have a fight night.
Right. I think I'm still the reigning champion of Bard Night.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
Oh.
One could also point out that in the Avedon Alive game, all three of the the primary cast players are clanks, like the D&D the Daggerheart version of the Warforged.
Okay.
We're all essentially robots who have issues. I don't want to give too much away in case you ever decide to investigate the story, but there was a lot of delight in realizing that BardWired applied there too, in more ways than one.
Okay.
Not that any of us is playing the bard, but
Yeah, actually, none of us are playing bards on that right now. But and the other part is Deirdre came up with BardWired, and it was like it wasn't me. I was like, I want to do a show. You guys figure it out. I
Ooh, I like that. I want to do a show. You figure it out.
I want to do no work. Everybody else do it for me. I'm gonna take the credit and go to all these cons.
No, it's definitely I definitely shout out my cast and my friends. I mean, at the end of the day, these are my friends first, and my castmates second. Like I shout them out as much as I can. You know, they're mentioned in every single thing I do, as much as I can. Deirdre does a lot of Deirdre did the logo for BardWired.
It's beautiful.
Adam does a lot of my like making sure I'm not messing things up and helping me kind of bounce ideas storytelling wise. Kier does all the editing for anything that I release on Patreon. Like I'm just a guy with too much charisma and a penchant for attracting really awesome people into my life.
That was one thing that T mentioned. You weren't around, and he's like, "Man, that guy's got so much charisma."
Yeah.
And it's true.
Yeah, it'd be hard to believe that I'm like a super introvert.
Same. I hate people.
When you left after your visit, Emma said, he should be in sales. He should be a sales.
That's pretty accurate, actually.
When you told me about what
But
you do, I was surprised to hear that it wasn't sales, because you should maybe give that a go. But that might take up more power in your life than you want to give it credit to.
You know, if I was going to pursue sales as a career for realsies, I would want to be in game design and board game design and selling the thing that I have a passion for. I did have a job at one point in sales, and I was good at it, but man, is it soul sucking. Like,
I can imagine.
I interviewed to sell cars one time, and I've never felt more disgusting in my entire life. I remember sitting down for an interview, watching a guy make a deal, and then I watched him stand up, walk away to behind a partition to tell his manager, like, hey, go tell him that this deal can't happen because I want to make more money. And I'm like, and sales is not for me.
Gross.
I think it was, I can't remember if it was Chris or Morgan, but this weekend, I was like doing something, I was being charismatic, doing the thing and rolling, doing the thing that I do well. And then I just turned around and my face just dropped because I was so tired of talking to people. I walked over and like happened to run into whomever it was, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, you just had to see that. You just saw me completely dead face.
See, you're better than I am because I didn't try to hide it. Morgan came up to me like 4 separate times. He's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I hate people.
As you're just collapsed on the lobby couch.
Like I would just turn a corner and then there's Morgan. He's like, oh, and I'm like, oh, my bad.
I was talking to my friends at the vendor hall at one point, and I just started like rubbing my jaws and like, what's wrong? And I was like, I hate having to pretend to like people and smile all day.
Am I the minority?
Yes, usually.
I really like people, and I like hanging out
fucking
with them.
awful.
And that's why I came back. Everyone else is dog tired, and I'm like, I feel amazing.
I had to have a conversation with him. I'm like, hey, I worked more, and now you're going to have the energy to go out afterwards. I'm going to the hotel and fucking sleep. Go out and do whatever you want. I'm not coming.
But we didn't. We all went to bed.
You wanted to, though, was the problem. You were just waiting for somebody to give you the option to go bar hopping.
Because you guys were invited on Friday night to come with us to the after. I know that I invited you.
To where?
I know you invited us Saturday. I don't remember getting an invite for anything Friday.
Oh, you're right. It was Saturday, and then you guys were like,
Friday he didn't like us. Yeah, he waited till Saturday. Like, yeah, I guess Saturday they're okay.
We did get an invite on Instagram Sunday for some like ongoings, and we're like,
Did you go bar crawling? I'm like,
we're all the way in the Midwest already.
see, if you want to know who Bozer is as a person, though, if you let him know on Sunday, like, hey, we're bar crawling today, he'd rebook a flight to be involved in this bar crawl.
That's when you make like the real friends.
I get down to the city in which Adam's wife believes I'm the mayor.
Oh, hold on, pause. That's a story. We're not moving on till that story's told.
So, my wife was in San Diego for a conference, and I just randomly, oh, hey, my wife's in San Diego. And Norm's like, I'm in San Diego. I will hang out with your wife. Going, yeah, okay, sure. And they met up, and to hear her tell it, walking with Dorium through this neighborhood, he's like kissing every baby, he's meeting greeting every person by name, shaking hands, passing out little campaign stickers for all that she knew. But it's like, you're the mayor, and he's like, yeah,
And he doesn't like people.
Well, here's the thing: the bard Tendor, right? The whole moniker is because I play bards, I bartend, and my name is Dorium. Like, I just know I've been in my community for 14 plus years, doing the same thing every day for 8 hours a day, and so I know a lot of people. And yeah, it's great. But it's when you get too good at something that you don't want to do anymore. Not that I don't want to do. I love bartending, but like, I can't stop, because if I stop, I'm going to die.
Oh no! See, I was at that point. I bartended for a decade, and I've never been more excited to not be involved in something anymore.
But I'm always curious how people first find their way into TTRPGs, and like how long each of you have been doing it individually. So like, Kier, let's start with you. How did you find your way into this glorious community? Not so much BardWired, but what was your first entree into TTRPGs?
So I'll give you a little bit of background on myself. I was a child of the 90s, and my parents were very much into the Satanic Panic. So I knew for years that I couldn't play Dungeons and Dragons because it summoned demons, obviously.
And there's nothing you wanted to
worked at a grocery store and had a lot of friends, high school age, and then after that, even college age, trying to get to me to play D&D with them. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's okay. But no, I know what you guys do there. And I just finally decided one time after I graduated college, well, I might as well try it out. All these people that are asking me are nerds. So when we played, and I'm like, wow, it's a bunch of nerds doing voices and being knights and dragons. So that was 2018 or so. We're playing for about 7 years, D&D 5.8.
Congrats, and way to, I guess, become the black sheep of your family.
No, my family's cool with it now. I came back unaffected, so.
He doesn't have horns, so I guess this game must be okay.
Exactly.
What about you, Deirdre?
I believe I started in about 2014, 2015, right where you should start, in your friend's basement. Start in your friend's basement. And it was always something that I heard about and was interested in. I like the idea. I used to do like play-by-posts on websites when I was in high school, and that was I loved doing that. And so being able to do that live with your friends was really neat. And I had no idea what I was doing. I was like, hey, I have this idea for a character, a lot of inspiration from Toph from Avatar: The Last Airbender. And the DM at the time, he was just like, this is awesome. I'm going to help you build this character to the best character you can be. And I think that's really important, having people, DMs like that, like, hey, I have this idea, and they really help you expand. And that's what really made me fall in love with it, is the community, people that run it, being able to do stupid stuff with your friends, being able to do cool stuff with your friends, no judgment. And that's what really made me stick with it. And I was so happy that I was able to find an online community because of COVID, all our tables fell apart, and being able to find these people through an outlet that we had was really, really cool.
No, for anybody in the chat that doesn't understand what you're talking about with play-by-posts, i.e. Bozer, define that for us.
Play-by-posts, you would typically, instead of saying, I do this, you would type it out, but in the voice of your character. So as if you were reading a book, Deirdre is running through an alley, and she's on the search for something. She's going to keep an eye out for anything mysterious on the wall. Exactly how it is. You type it rather than speaking it. And something that we do in BardWired with our play-by-post um, is very much the rule of yes and, which Dorian is. I know he's very for that, and it has really opened up a lot of doors. I think with our RP is it's successful. Keep going. Don't stop with your roll. Keep going. What is the outcome of that roll? And yeah, and I think that has really brought about way more possibilities with our storytelling.
Did you ever do that? The play by posts?
We had one in our Discord for a while.
We did?
I definitely say you guys should.
It's just text-based adventure.
Absolutely.
And if you want to start one up again, I've been looking for an excuse since I don't have time to actually play right now.
Yeah, do it. I want to understand fully more what this is. When was this in our Discord?
When we first started adding channels, I think Alec and I were the only ones that were really doing it.
Oh, that's right. Because I saw that. I'm like, what is
You're
this?
more than to join us for Avenant Alive.
Oh, no,
Like,
I didn't need
life,
your
bro.
permission. I've already decided I'm coming in to fuck up your life, Darren.
Please,
Like,
please alter our world.
I know this. You don't
we
understand.
love when our players.
I have such an ego. I need to make sure that I leave a mark everywhere I go. And if I could impact the world that you guys play in regularly, because I want in the back of your mind to be like, fucking T at least once every 6 months.
You know what's funny? I don't know if he's in the chat right now, but like that's been my response lately with fucking Remy.
See, that's the energy I want from Darren.
You have it right.
Is coming up soon, and he just he's a perfect example of like whatever I said was better than what the DM had planned.
Hey, there he
You're
is.
right.
All right, so Remy, I will be hitting you up after this on how we can continue to ruin his life together.
Adam, what about you? How'd you first get into it?
So not in high school. I was in a lot of community theater as a kid, and then when I went to college, I joined the theater group, and one of the seniors and was like, "Hey, I want to run a D&D game. You want to play?" And I was like, "I know of this. Yes." Ironically, by that point, my father was a pastor. And like D&D was known of in our household. I'm pretty sure some of my older brothers had the books, but the punks never ran a game, and they would have like my father would have encouraged it. I don't know why they didn't. But played a bit in college. Thought about it a lot more than I actually played. And fast forward to around COVID era, my sister-in-law decides she's going to run drawing a blank on the name, the one with Strahd. Decides she wants to run Curse of Strahd with her family, and I build a character, and I was like, I could do this. It was a lot of fun. I could run some of these. I could do this, and I would start running the D&D game with my brothers because we're scattered across the states, and even one's in Denmark, and that's still ongoing. And eventually, I just saw an invitation to a Discord server for PvP, and through a series of peculiar events and an invitation from someone that will not be named, I somehow wound up like the head of the rules committee for this thing, and it was
a rules lawyer.
One of several, and not the most zealous, but it was a lot of fun. Dorian was like, "Hey, I have this idea." Like, no. But you could do this. A lot of those conversations.
Just redirecting a toddler.
Oh yeah, there was a.
You don't know how accurate
that was a lot of fun.
can be
Oh, buddy, I
about
do.
wrangling toddlers.
He's played with me. He does.
I have my own version of you right here.
But Adam, you said you just got back from off screen. You mentioned that you came back from New York Comic Con, where you got to DM for the Deaf and the Blind. What was that like?
Yeah, so I was invited by that same sister-in-law. She's working for a company called Inclusive Communication Services, and they're a woman-owned company built around providing interpretive services for the deaf, for the blind, ensuring things are accessible. And they were just running a D&D game, and they invited me to run the game. So I spent Friday, Saturday, and Sunday about 3 hours each day ish running games at the table for Forever Came. And it was a lot of fun. Honestly, it was more neurodivergent people showed up to be included than the deaf or the blind, but it was a lot of fun. There's really funny characters, and it was a heck of an adventure, and I really enjoyed it. And I think to allude to what Dorian was saying earlier, like, I don't know that I would necessarily want to go to a con just to be there. But working there is an entirely different experience. It's so cool, and like providing that, and like seeing people come back because you did such a good job that they want to experience that again, and just like seeing people who'd never done this before getting to like experience, like run wild with their imagination, and like just does this work? Like, I don't care. Screw the rules. Absolutely, this works. Go for it. Like that kind of stuff. Just having so much fun. It was a real treat, and I'm excited to go again if they'll have me.
Well, good on you too. We need to get in on this. Working cons.
I'm genuinely stuck on how you would run a table with a combination of both the blind and the deaf to try to incorporate all of that. Did you have any that you could kind of like speak on there? Because I'm having a hard time trying to figure out how you would maneuver both of those simultaneously at a table.
So the last game, actually, my one of the other DMs, well, there's only one other DM. He was blind, and we did entirely theater of the mind. His particular style was very much just the story evolves as they're telling you. He doesn't really have a plan. He just Heath Ledger Jokers it.
Respect.
And a deaf gentleman named John came to play. He was really excited to play, and so there were like 3 different sign language interpreters stationed around the table.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And John was very expressive, very eloquent with his hands. Like it was really fun to watch him speak, because like he didn't really speak in the conventional sense, but he's just like gesturing like very grandly, like I want to electrocute him, I want to save him, I want to, like, he was so stoked. Like I ended up writing his character for him just because like he showed up the last second. I'm like, okay, what do you want? You want a sorcerer named John? Okay.
See, my brain immediately goes to how much D&D has ASL equivalent, and how often, like, how fast do you have to be with the alphabet to spell Strahd's last name?
Right.
So we didn't. So we ran homebrew stuff, and we had a couple conversations with the interpreters. One of the big fixtures for me was that I wanted to have one of the quest givers in one of the one-shots I ran was a corgi voiced by Clint Eastwood, and I described him as a loaf of bread with a scowl, and
Basically a corgi.
and I very quickly, and one of the ICS people working there was herself deaf, and she's like, I don't get it, and it's just like, and I learned a couple of the symbols, like loaf of I think bread. Is that it, Dorian? Yeah, and that's angry, and And why would a loaf of bread be angry? She says, and
See, I genuinely.
and then someone explains it's like a joke. So you know the dog, the corgi, and I'm like, yeah. You know how it kind of looks like a loaf of bread, yeah. Now imagine it's angry, yeah. So it looks like a loaf of bread that's angry. Like, oh my God, that's genius.
See, I feel like that would, the honest to God, have to be the most difficult part. Is think about like all of the like obscene shit that gets said at a table. That there's no correlate, like you can't 1-to-1. So like in real time of trying to translate that over to the individual who is already at a delay, trying to get that information over to them, they're now working in real time trying to reiterate that, and they're like, how the fuck do I redirect what he just said in a way that's going to make sense here? I don't know if I could run a game. I would be too obsessed with watching the physical movements associated with that communication.
It was tricky. I had a lot of fun. I didn't try to mess with them as much as I thought I would. Just, like angry loaf of bread. Like, what does that look like? Really angry loaf of bread. Just like, but they were really good, really fast. And plus, like, we had the advantage of like being able to see, like the blind DM when he was running the last game, he had somebody sitting next to him that was like relating the situation as it was happening. So when somebody was having something explained to them in depth, the interpreter would say, well, they're explaining in depth what you mean by, loaf of bread with a squint, that kind of thing. And so there were pauses, but it seemed more part of it than because we're all there to be like include one another and have a good time. So like nobody fussed, or if they did, if we threw them away.
I mean, honestly, that's the only acceptable response in that moment.
Yeah, that sounds like a really cool experience. It's like a whole new wonderful realm of D&D. So good on you for jumping in head first and helping lead that.
It was a lot of fun. It's kind of a relief to go and run a game instead of wandering around the con looking for that one booth.
Yeah, circling back to that one, guys, I'm the same way. Like C2E2, which is our home con, you would say, in Chicago. It's a 3-day because it gets 120,000 people or something insane. And you're right. Like if I wasn't going there to make content, in addition to like seeing our con friends there, 3 days there is too fucking much. Like by the time we get to Sunday, like our entire Sunday goal always is, I need to hit vendor A, B, and C, buy the stuff I was not able to buy yet, and get the fuck out. But yeah, I'm to the point where like Mysticon, I think, was great for the sense that because it's year 2, it's smaller, you can maneuver and you have much more freedom to like kind of interact with everybody. Because genuinely, I hate people. I am not a very good people person. I get overstimulated aggressively. So yeah, when I get to C2, there's a small window where I exist in the perfect place that you want to be at a con. Like, this is the vibe. I've got the high energy. Not too many people haven't touched me. I'm happy to be here. But the moment that switch is flipped, it's over for me. But the moment I'm working it, I can disregard all of those things. Just being like a participant, no longer matters to me, because it's night and day. Like, I'm here to work, not have fun. Or I can have fun while working. But the moment I'm just there for fun, I'm like, I could just go home and be equally as happy now.
You've been reading my notes, haven't you?
Yes.
the improv panel, T was our moderator. T was supposed to come up and stop all of the improvisers from improvising as we're talking about our task. And I was like, I sat there, like my hand covered my face. And I was like, I feel so bad, but man, none of us know how to turn off the yes and.
Okay, to be fair, that was still in the gray area where we were unsure of how much power we held at the con.
Should we cut this off?
So like, not a single person, like not a single panel started on time. Not a single panel ended on time. But it was one of those things like everybody's like being happy and having fun. I'm not interrupting a beat because of a nuanced time constraint. If there's a lull, that's where I'm striking. But if everybody's still having fun and nobody's up my ass like, hey, we're supposed to be on now, we're just going to keep letting this ride out until the joke is finished.
But you guys did a really good job. And to bring it back a little bit to BardWired, one of the things that we talked about at Mysticon was your upcoming event that's happening Saturday, November 1st, called Chambers and Chocolates. And the more you explained it to me in the lobby at Mysticon, the more upset I got that we aren't closer by to partake.
I'm more confused that it's not a bigger thing. Like, why is this the first time I'm hearing of somebody doing this?
So what is it for anybody out there?
So Chambers and Chocolates was kind of it was a passing joke between me and my friend Alyssa, who owns Chocolate by E. You should look her up. Her chocolate's amazing. But she's a professional chocolatier. She's that's her thing. She owns this company that makes beautiful monthly chocolate subscriptions. And this is my plug for her because I know she's spending the day with her partner and couldn't be on the call. But we were just kind of making the passing joke. She moved back to San Diego after having lived up in the Bay Area for a while, and I knew she was. I knew they were a big old D&D nerd. So I was like, "Yo, what if Eat Monster?" Yes. And this is after I had made dice for my friends, for Christmas. That was my gift set to my friends. I made chocolate dice. Which were not nearly as good as hers were.
That's one of the videos you sent, right? In the promo, we panned over.
Those are the ones she made. Hers were better.
Oh, okay.
Strictly better.
I was gonna say yours turned out really well.
No, those were hers. They were great. But we sat there and we talked about it, and I was like, well, let's try it. Here, I can absolutely take legally distinct media about a chocolatier who has a factory and make this into and so we did. And I wrote this adventure that explored legally distinct chocolatier's chocolate factory.
Please tell me that's the name.
I think it's not. That's not the name. It should be now.
It should be.
It should be. But in any case, we ran this event. We did it for a very low cost, and people loved the experience. We did chocolate minis. We did chocolate dice. We did interactive chocolate sculpture pieces and centerpieces, and it was a really cool experience. So we're like, what if do more? And then we did another one, and our second one was legally distinct. What if pasta fell from the sky? And then we just kind of came up with more and more ideas. We just finished Fairy Tales back in October. In November, late November, we're doing legally distinct dungeon through which there might be food that you can eat. And then this weekend, I personally I'm Mexican and Latin, and I produce every year an event for Day of the Dead. And so this year I decided to partner up with Kraken Dice because they are women and Latin owned, and I produce an event. And given the success of Chambers and Chocolates, I wanted to create this event that would incorporate my love and my love letter to Mexican culture, my love for the history and the reverence of Day of the Dead, and also this really cool edible experience by sharing authentic Mexican foods, snacks, treats, chocolates, desserts, things that were very authentic to the story. And so we're doing that this weekend with Kraken Dice. We're doing Dia de Muertos, which will be our first time doing.
That's good.
We're doing 12 tables, six players per table, 12 DMs, 2 sessions for a total of 224. Total options for players to play, and then it ends up being 148 total players.
Nice.
And this again is my love letter to the culture. We're doing it with Kraken Dice. Tickets are still available. I would love to have more players there. And this is the first time that we're actually doing Spanish language tables because of the material. In the same way that Adam did, tables for the deaf and the blind, I have done tables. I've played at and run tables for the deaf, because I know American Sign Language, and this is my opportunity to say I also speak Spanish. Let me run this story for people who are going to connect with it in a very intimate, very important kind of way. And that's kind of Chambers and Chocolates. It's you go in, you roll your dice. Sometimes you roll a nat one. Sometimes you roll the dice to teach it a lesson.
I'm gonna be honest. My only only immediate concern with this thought process is why most tables can't do XP leveling is because people fight over the kills. And I'm telling you right now, as a fat man, I am fighting over the option to one, kill the BBG so I can eat him, and every fucking minion I come across. Because if you take that kill and take that chocolate, we're now rolling dice IRL.
Maybe you can negotiate for like the kill shot, like you eat the rabbit's ears or something like that.
See, my brain immediately went to like once the BBG is done, I really like take it and pelt him at a wall and watch like him explode like a piñata. Like, do you remember like the Wonder Balls? That's what I want.
The very first one, you get a giant golden egg of chocolate, and you got to break it with either a spoon or a hammer or a
My fidgets.
the rolling pin. And on the inside, if you were careful, there was a white chocolate dragon on the inside that everyone got to eat pieces of that we molded ourselves.
All right, so when you come to the Midwest and host this, dibs on emceeing, dibs on playing, dibs on running a table. I don't know how I'm going to do all three of these things. Nope, mind your business. I'll figure it out.
Here, I will run the event. Chambers and Chocolate is a 12 series, so there's 3 episodes that are level up. And episode 4 is always a confrontation with our big bad. His name is Tialdrid. And Tialdrid is a dark chocolate great worm. And he is part of our school of great worms that are different types of chocolates. So there's a white chocolate dragons, there's milk chocolate dragons, there's dark chocolate dragons.
That's awesome.
There's so that's kind of like our little build into those things. But Tialdrid is our big bad, and they'll be facing him for the first time in late November. And like we have the plan is to sculpt a dragon head that when you cut into it will be layers of stuff that will bleed red if you can deal enough damage.
See, my question is, how do you get a candy health bar? A candy health bar, I think, would be pretty cool.
All the potions, Hero's Feast. Imagine that.
Hero's Feast, banger.
We do espresso usually if we need somebody to like liven up. That's our potion of speed.
And where is this happening? In case anyone was listening, like I want in.
Happening down in. I'm located in Southern California. We are working with Kraken Dice down in Chula Vista. Tickets are, if you are following us now, tickets are currently $40, and they include a fully formatted, prettified version of the adventure that you'll be sent at the end. Otherwise, starting tomorrow, it is when we're actually going to be selling them at cost, just because we want to share the story with as many players as we can, and those will be $20. You can check out our Instagram, and that'll have like all of the information you need. But also join our server and play some games with us.
Yeah, and
do cooler shit.
Honestly, but if you are here in the chat, we've just been using command BardWired, and it takes you straight to the link tree where you can find information straight about this event and future events and follow them on all the things. But like the more we talk to all of you about these kinds of things, we get more inspired because these are kinds of things that we would love to do. But like, I feel like I ask this to almost every guest. How do you find the bandwidth to not only make time for games, not only make time for your life and your work, like your job, I guess, not
Your children.
your livelihood, your friends, but also all these events that you're putting on? How do you balance it all?
Like Adam said, they're convinced I'm not human.
Yes.
Don't be
I do this.
Give my name to a
But
fae.
for me, I realized I actually just quit my job about 2 months ago because it was killing me. I would love to say killing me slowly, but it was just killing me. And I accepted a position that was in a completely different industry, learning a brand new task, but so much more time for myself. So it let me look at my life in a way that I could choose how I spend it more intentionally. And I know that like these three and the people I hang out with in my Discord server, the people I hang out with in my daily life, or, you know, whatever, those are the people I choose to spend time with. So kind of moving intentionally, and D&D, in particular, my passion with writing is I love taking folklore, taking history, and twisting it so that it's experienced through the lens of fantasy. So it allows me to keep pushing all of this forward from my end, because I'm feeding myself as much as I'm feeding other people. Not, no pun intended, chambers of chocolates. But you know, all the work that I'm doing is work that I want to do. I'm not just writing adventures to write adventures. I'm not just playing games, running games to run games. I actually stopped running 2 games this year because I was like, these I'm having fun with, but they're not feeding me in ways that I really need it.
Okay. Kier, what about you? Like, with more and more D&D becoming more popular and taking the games online and streaming them and opening them up for more of an audience, how do you keep things balanced for you?
So I work a couple jobs. I play D&D in the meantime. I don't really end up having too much free time. I just tend to go.
Phil?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. Honestly, I get burnout pretty often because I'm just kind of going. But at the same time, I'd rather be go than just have nothing to do and be bored. Man, and I feel like that's one way that I kind of keep on going. Is I got my couple of jobs. I run a D&D game once a month with some of my friends from work and some of my brothers. Obviously, play over here with BardWired as well. And yeah, I'd rather be constantly busy than constantly bored. And I think that just is maybe not a mindset for everybody, but it's something that I need to keep on pushing on through.
Yeah, we definitely feel that over here. We hate sitting still. And for us, it's sometimes to our detriment, because then we don't get good at the one thing at a time. At least I try to spread myself too thin. Like, oh, we can try this or try this. And he's always got such great ideas. And I feel like I'm constantly shooting them down because I'm always thinking like, no, burnout's a thing and I can't let us get there.
Don't worry, you'll come back around to it 6 months.
But I'll usually come back around. I'm like, that thing you mentioned 6 months ago, it's actually a really good idea. We should try it. Deidre, what about, speak for all the moms and parents out there? Like you said that you have little ones. How do you keep it all balanced, especially with taking care of those little ones?
Yeah, it's hard. Like Dorian said, we really gotta decide what's important to you, and family is everything, but also, it's one part of you, and you gotta do what makes you happy. And if you just need those couple hours away and not be mom for 3-4 hours, kudos to you, hubby, for being dad by himself for a couple hours so I can play some games with my friends, just turn everything else off. But yeah, between going back to school for graphic design to get better at my job, so there's homework, there's mom life, there's cooking, there's making sure my parents are good, and it's a lot. It is, but you do come back to what makes you happy. I think as you get older, you realize to not be so much of a people pleaser. There's only so much that you can give out to other people. Like if you're empty, you're not gonna be able to give. So
wrong. I do it every day.
Glass first. You definitely have to fill your own glass first before you're able to be there for others. And if that's just a couple hours a week, being able to talk to your friends, be able to role play with your friends, play games with your friends, I think that's really important to set time aside for.
I just think these are important things to note, because I know that we have so many people listening that they tune in because maybe they have their own passion project that they are waiting to start or waiting to launch, and they have so many of these ideas holding them back with, I don't have time, I'm going to get burnt out. And so I know that I struggle with burnout a lot in my life, because Adam, I know that I gave you shit about doing community theater. That's my current job. I grew up in the community theater. I work community theater every day, and I love it. But like you and I both know, like the monster it can become if left unchecked. And so, like for me, 4 Geeks by Geeks is my escape. But in being an escape and wanting it to grow, it then has its own work and fear of becoming its own monster, just like all the things that we put our passion to. So I just ask for myself, to be honest.
What about you, Adam?
So I was actually diagnosed with autism when I was 9 years old, and that's a hell of a segue. But I've always found like it to be something of a struggle, like going out into the world, interacting with people. Like going to the New York Comic-Con was huge. It was damn near terrifying, but I had a reason to be there, and it was a lot of fun, and it brought me a lot of joy, and it was very energizing, and I couldn't wait to do it again once I had gotten away from all those people. I find, like, as you said, with community theater, like it's so exciting to be a part of it, to be building something. But by the end of the show, by the time that everything is down and everybody knows their lines and everybody's got all this set stuff down, and you just want to be done. You just want to go. Yeah. And
sometimes
to be clear, I don't feel that way about D&D. I don't want to be done. I don't want to go. But I don't necessarily struggle to find the time. Generally, there's I mean, I'm also an aspiring author, and I don't write as often as I would like. But and you read about authors saying, I set aside 2 hours every day. I just sit down and write. It's not it doesn't matter whether it's relevant to the book. It doesn't matter. I'm just stream of consciousnessing out into the ether.
That's great for you. I've got maybe 10 minutes to do that.
Yeah, it's a matter of finding those moments where you can sit down and just like feel and just kind of come alive and start doing that. And I'm not happy with my job either. But nonetheless, it's and my wife has been very encouraging in like D&D and in writing and whatnot, in taking that time, like, to find spaces where you can have that joy and just let it come out of you, because it is there. It's just sometimes it's very easy to forget that it's there. And then somebody says, "Hey, I'm doing an interview. You want to do an interview?" Like, "Oh, but I could eat dinner." Shut up. Go do the thing. Have fun. Hang out. Have a great time. Meet new people. And here I am doing this kind of stuff. And
please eat dinner after this.
Yes. I'm sorry we're keeping you from eating.
I ate dinner before I came. Let's be clear. But it's different for everybody, like, and there's different struggles for everybody. But I think it's for me, it's finding the moments and finding the joy in it, and remembering everything that can come of it. Because every year the new community theater play comes around. It's like, oh yeah. No, I'll enjoy it. I'll enjoy it. You know?
Yeah. And to clarify, I do love my job. For anybody from that world watching, I do love it. It's very fulfilling. But I just mean it just takes so much time, and I wish that I had more time to do like these kinds of things and play D&D for God's sake.
No, I can't really. I don't think I've played this year.
You haven't. We have an ongoing local game sitting around a table, and he hasn't been able to join us. Sad.
To kind of build off of what Adam was saying too, the part that also helps me stave off a little bit of like the burnout is I look forward to getting to talk to these three every Monday. Like it's been, I mean, obviously we've missed a couple Mondays. We've had stuff go on. People gotten sick. Deirdre had a baby. Adam had a
Small.
Any number. Whatever. But I look forward to these three every day. And I think since I kind of sent everybody like, here's the charter for BardWired and what I want to accomplish, I said, but first and foremost, like I want to play D&D with my friends. And like that's, as soon as it stops being fun, like that's not what I want out of this.
See, I think
Us to continue having fun, continue telling cool stories, continue sharing amazing space. And I talk to Deirdre almost every day.
So I think I'm at the point maybe that's what I need, because the thing that I think smacked me in the face this weekend when Luke was talking about kids have lost their imagination due to screens, and that one smacked me in the face because I work with Excel sheets all day, so I am using purely analytical brain for my day job. Then my night job, I go help. I'm a counselor for a juvenile rehab center. So then it's not even focusing on myself. I'm dealing with a bunch of kids who have severely worse problems than I do. And so like I'll text him like a content idea like once every 6 weeks. Like I had one today for you guys to promote that I was really proud of. That was like the first creative idea I've had, and I could not even tell you how long. But listening to Louis, like, yeah, nobody has an imagination anymore. He's like, what was my imaginative thought? I
have noticed, like, you used to be spilling with ideas, like you for your graphic novel, for your like next campaign, and I've been sad to see that kind of.
Oh yeah, that light is gone.
And I feel like, especially as adults, like we struggle with that, and that's the thing I took away from Mysticon was hearing all these stories that sitting back in the audience or listening. It sounds like all of you are just overflowing with creativity at all times. And I'm just like, how? I want that. How do I do that? I want it.
Yeah, I think that's just called masking, bud. Oh. But to not be Debbie Down, to get to the point that I was circling around to, was like, I'm actually genuinely excited to like jump in on your guys' like play-by-post, because that's something that I can, I have 6 seconds that I have some level of creativity I can put onto a keyboard real quick. So I kind of hope that I can get back to that point. Because like on the average right now, I'm working upwards of like 80 hours a week, plus like 10 to 15 hours of commuting. So like my life quite literally is wake up, work, go to bed, and maybe I'll throw a meal in there in between. And so, like, I get to the point, I'm like, I get to sit down and have intense conversation. Like, I sit down, I'm like, I could be getting caught up on sleep right now. I have no creative questions to ask these lovely folks. Like, I have no way to promote them in a way they should be promoted other than, oh, hey, we're live with XYZ. Like, my issue with, like, my creativity is, like, I can't do minor. I can only do grandiose things. So, like, my idea for Chambers and Chocolates is I want to do a 90s like infomercial. Like, there's got to be a better way, but set up like a full game table, try to eat the minis, but she can't, and then so we have to go do and find like chocolates that we can eat as the alternative. But like, I can't do just like small scale creativity. I have to go balls to the wall, add 10 hours to my work week
involved for this post.
I could easily do Chambers and Chocolates by going to like insert name of big brand store and buying Hershey's chocolates or I just went ahead and
wow.
Anyway.
Legally distinct chocolate shaped kisses.
I could go to the store and buy whatever, right? And do that. But in the same vein, I don't do anything half-ass. I hired my friend who is a chocolatier and oh so talented, because they're going to provide so much, something a million times better than what I'm going to buy at the store. I hired my friend who is a brewer to be who owns a brewery to be my venue, because he's going to provide me a much better drinking experience at any random bar or space that I could rent. I am similar to you. I don't do anything half-assed. The three of them, the first time they saw me play D&D, I committed to the bit of being an 8-year-old boy who needed Deirdre's character to save my life. And I
For the full campaign.
3 years.
But I think an important thing there is that that's what the content needs, is to go the full length, because everybody's doing a TTRPG podcast at this point, right? So like, to shout out who was that this weekend? Scented Realms, who does like the scent. So what they do is they have like essentially like a fog machine or like a handheld fog. So they add scents to these, and then you can add different aromas to your campaign. So like, is this something you need at a table? No. But can you subtly start using like goblin as a scent that you introduce to your table? So you're not having your tables any longer roll for perception. You want your players to start like, I know that smell. So you're at the point where we're at in these TTRPG world where like we want to add that next level of immersion to take us out of this capitalistic society to have something fun. So whether it's adding in scents or like shout out Cantina 13 who has Canteen, he's like, oh, you can't afford 3D printed terrain. We've got paper models they can do. Because we all started with like Hershey Kisses, we all started with pieces of candies as our placeholders. Like, we're at a point where we have adult money, and a lot of us probably shouldn't, where we can start funneling like stupid amount of money into adding these new layers of immersion into these to really give us like that experience that we're missing in a lot of aspects of our lives. So no, please go, if you can afford it, don't harm yourself in trying to do this, but go balls to the wall trying to make these types of things happen, because I think it's absolutely incredible. Because like when we were speaking on Friday about this, like you literally caught me in my tracks. I'm like, I've never heard of anybody doing something like this. Like everybody's like, oh yeah, here's a candy for like your inspiration. Like here's your positive reinforcement. But like the idea of being able like, okay, how do you kill the goblin? Now I have a piece of candy that I could physically enact how I want to kill this individual to. Like, yeah, it's childish and barbaric, but like it adds a whole new level of like fun to something that needs like a refreshment at this point in time.
I melt his head between my fingers, you know.
See, that was my first thought when you were telling me about this. Like, if you're intense and I'm like shaking dice in my hand like I do when I'm anxious, the moment I go to throw the die and I realize it's just like clay face in my hand, I'm like, ah, fuck.
Send you the video of in our first game where there was that golden goose egg. There was a secret objective. If the whole table honked, Tendor, our host aide, would like their assistant would come over with an rolling pin and just whoop the egg. And I have the video, and people's faces, like the entire room just turns like, what the hell is going on? And it is such a, if you're gonna do the bit, commit to the bit. It's, I guess, my point.
That's my life motto.
I just commend you for taking things to the next level and using it as a platform to highlight like the talented people in your life that you know in other ways that we wouldn't normally attach to strictly D&D. But you're like, no, we can bring other people, other communities. With the last few minutes of our time, I know that you mentioned it's to celebrate Day of the Dead, which is a community and group that's very important to you. How do you feel in the current state of D&D that like the Spanish-speaking community is being highlighted right now?
So there's some amazing content creators who are of and I'll just put it this way, they are POC or marginalized or some form of intersectional community that are amazing, are making such amazing content. There's one in particular, I can't remember them right now. They do a module where it teaches you the basics of American Sign Language.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
You know, like there's when it comes to like Latin folk in particular, that's, you know, that's I said it earlier, it's my bread and butter. It's my love letter to my culture. And I found that a lot of the Latin people who I've spoken with, we all kind of have we all kind of see this blind spot in tabletop where we don't see a lot of representation for Latin culture. There is some stuff in Forgotten Realms, but their whole island got eaten away by the spell plague, so we haven't seen them in 30 years. Or you get references to the flying snake, which is based on the Quetzalcoatl, but you don't get the Quetzalcoatl or anything like that. There are a couple of games, I believe it's Legends of Icor is coming out, and they're taking a huge inspiration in Latin American media, and that's really cool. But I think with specifically Spanish language tables, I probably spent about 10 hours trying to dig for a Spanish PHB, DMG, character sheets, etc., that I could use for my games, because they aren't readily available and it's hard to find them. The module I wrote for D&D, the Muertos for Chamber and Chocolate, is primarily written in English, and most of my DMs can't speak Spanish, except for the ones of us who are running Spanish tables. But I'm making them pronounce stuff in Spanish, and it has a pronunciation guide, because it has an impact to... You don't know how much something is going to matter to somebody until you see it matter to them.
Mm-hmm.
And Day of the Dead, a lot of people just think is kind of Mexican Halloween, and it's absolutely not. Day of the Dead starts on Thursday with the first candle, which guides our pets home. Then it leads to the Saturday, which is the day that children make their way home, and we light our second candle. The third day we light our third candle, and you have your loved ones, the non-children, non-pets. And then on the Monday you blow out your candles so you can send everybody home on the Escher. And that is its own ritualistic cultural tradition that isn't highlighted in Day of the Dead naturally, or in Halloween, and Halloween has its own roots, and I don't want to erase any of that for anybody. But the module I wrote for Day of the Dead is touching on a lot of the very specifically Latin and very intentionally Mexican cultural things that we don't get to see very often in these hobbies and these games.
And I guess I haven't really.
And again,
please finish.
That was it. It's my love letter. It's what I love to do. It's what I want to do. It's what I am thankful I get to do, because I didn't have an opportunity to explore being Mexican in the same way I do as an adult when I was being raised. My parents are immigrant, so I was raised with the most intention possible to succeed, and I didn't get a chance to learn my stuff until I was already on my way to being successful.
I guess as a white man, I never really thought about how much that is not capitalized. I got super excited. So my wife and two of my children are Ojibwe. So when Coyote and Crow was released, I spent an ungodly amount of money backing that, because Ojibwe, I don't know if you can consider that a dead language at this point, but if it's not, it's very, very much so dying, because Ojibwe is already a smaller tribe to begin with. So my wife and I were trying to find classes so we can teach our girls things outside of Buju and Gizagi, and so having a little bit more of their culture still alive to them. And so when Coyote and Crow came out, I was like, oh yes, even if this is just the only way I can help teach my girls, their culture still exists, and there's people that do still care. I want more. So as you were explaining this, I thought as somebody who actively keeps up with, I would say, most TTRPGs that are coming out, I don't think, and this could be just me on the wrong side of the internet or me not doing as much research as I should. I don't know if I could name any other culturally inclusive TTRPGs that are out there, and that kind of sucks.
I mean, when you look at just 5e, the only book in the last 5-10 years that I can say was intentionally intersectional is A Journey Through the Radiant Citadel. And that one is, my understanding, every author is a non-male person of color, or somewhere on the oh god, I'm losing the word, the I've listened to the word. I forgot it. Neurospicy side of life.
Okay. Neurospicy. I think that was the word you were looking for.
Which is one of those things that got highlighted quite a bit.
I have it on my. That's why I remembered it.
I want that sticker.
It's a good sticker. That was a big thing that got highlighted this weekend, was like how often, like a predominantly amount of Mystic-Con and the DMs that were speaking were white men, and how it was a gone out of the way, saw like, hey, we are not strictly only having white men speak on these topics. We are making sure we include as many POCs, as many different genders as we can get available, because yes, there's enough for men. We are fucking a white man podcast. There's no denying that one.
One of millions.
One of millions is the exact problem. And so that's one of those things that, like, especially as like a dad of just girls, and had in an interracial relationship, interracial children, like, I don't want that to be like, 'cause obviously white men run everything. It's pretty fucking annoying, and it needs to stop at this point in time. But if you don't fight for those types of things to get more of that, we're just going to continue to see this nonsense continue fucking onwards.
So I really commend you all for doing your part to create a safe space, whether it's on BardWired Podcast for people from all different communities to enjoy D&D, or specifically for like D&D Los Muertos. Could I sound whiter when I say that? For that community specifically, I think that's really amazing, and we're proud to do our small part in promoting it, highlighting it, because it really deserves all the spotlight.
Well, thank y'all for having us on. We're gonna continue doing the work. If our show manages to pay for all of our audiobook subscriptions, that's the small goal. And if it doesn't, that's fine. We're gonna keep telling cool stories, helping the communities we can, and keep storytelling the easy part.
If it makes you feel better, bud, there's two of us, and we're not paying for my audiobook subscription either. So
Who's paying for it?
me.
Oh, okay. Dorian, Kier, Deidre, Adam, thank you so much for joining us in tonight's Geek Out Sesh. Did you have fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Good. Please don't say no. We're still live.
You can tell us afterwards, but don't embarrass us on the internet, please.
Can you imagine?
I can.
I'm waiting for the day, to be honest.
You can tell us the real feedback right after we close. But all of you at home, thank you so much for joining us for tonight's Geek Out Sesh. We will have another one next week with, ironically enough, Scented Realms. They're coming on.
That was not intentional.
Tell us more about that. I really want to know more, like the science and the logistics of how they even came to create this thing, because I think that's really interesting. And several other guests, whether they were at Mystic-Con coming on the show, or some that we've been able to schedule from all other walks of life here as geek guests, and I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for the lineup we've got coming up.
That's what happens when you go out into the world to different cons, I suppose. You actually get...
So we got to make sure we book
connections.
through C2, or otherwise we're fucked.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we're going to run real dry real quick.
Yep. Don't worry, we'll bring you guys back just kind of as filler if we run out of people. We'll bring you back as individually, because every one of you have your own, have enough going on
really
that we can highlight you as people. So expect all of us to slide in your DMs individually.
But if you're in the Chula Vista area, please check out the event. You can find the link either by using command BardWired, or the link will be below in the description if you're listening or watching back after the fact. And then please just go support all that they're doing and get on that play-by-post on their Discord. Like,
That's where I'm going to immediately after here.
And the book club.
and
There's a book club? You don't read. Shut up.
I know. I'm just going to pretend to be excited.
I will not allow you.
Tell me about it. I read on the plane.
You read like 6 pages.
I'm a slow reader. But until next time, I am Bozer.
I'm T.